Lord Captain, the astropaths are reporting a new message. It says Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is sending his regards to your lordship and is hoping to meet you in his palace at Footfall at your earliest convenience. Suddenly now he wants to talk. I see how it is. Well, let's set course for Footfall. This must be very important. Now he dares to summon me as his servant. The nerve of the arrogant bastard. Xavier will have to wait until I conclude some more urgent business. Let's set course for Footfall. Must be very important. As you wish, Lord Captain. Yeah, so that's as expected. We finished the previous quest and now we're ready to go to Footfall, which is here in Furabundus. I should actually probably hook up Footfall to our fast travel network. So yeah, let's head over here to Janus. Emergency aboard the void ship. A foul warp entity has pierced the thin veil of the Geller field and spawned unimaginable beasts of unnatural hues. The Vox systems are picking up the crewman's screams and the warp fiend's loathsome giggling. The situation demands immediate intervention. We will... yeah, send them with some holy gifts and let the people take care of it. Go forth, have fun. Lord Captain, we've received an urgent message from Dargonus. Marshal Strox requests that you come to the Administratum Palace for a discussion of the utmost importance. Alas, that is the extent of what we know. The message ends there. During the period designated the night shift, the air throughout the ship suddenly turned stale. Ah, this one, it's Seneschal Wersarian was in a trance-like state. He's pacing his room and talking to an unseen interlocutor, asking the same questions over and over. Why won't the fever break? Does the esteemed chirurgeon have the faintest idea what he is doing? Then he sat by the bed for a long time, clutching the sleeve of a void suit and repeating, "Everything will be all right, son." With great difficulty, the enforcers managed to return the Seneschal to his senses. By the order of Seneschal Wersarian, the report on this incident has been erased from the ship's logs. Not a surprise there. Alright, so this is Janus. Let's warp travel up to Dargonus and see what's going on there. Pleasing the tired. Alright, is there a new project I can work on? I could work on Bastion. By declaring Dargonus the defense center of the Koronus Expanse, the Rogue Trader will be able to requisition foreign vessels and collect additional resources from the population. I don't mind that. It would cost, or it requires, a lot of security, complacency, and efficiency, and a high profit factor. I don't think it actually uses those up. I hope. And it'll give us provisions, people, mechanisms, and weapons, and some of the best munitions and supplies from the defense of the Expanse, +2 to the plating of all sectors. Yeah. And these ones probably need Bastion to be done. Yeah. Alright, we'll start on that. Then head on into the Administratum. Ah, Solomon's being forced back in. I think it's fine. We kick out Adira, grab Solomon again. We'll need to level him up. So is this about the fact that we pulled him back into our retinue even after he'd been released from the Arbites? Let's see. Free extra attacks are always great. More deflection is also good. Man, I've marked far too many things. Sure. That's not bad. Two times your toughness bonus. So it would give him 12 more health. I don't know about that. What's the math on this? Familiar strength bonus. Is that 0? Or is it just not calculating it at this moment? Tempted by chain maw. Weakest link isn't terrible either. We'll go with chain maw and hope it actually does give a bonus. I'm assuming you have strength, even though it didn't show up there. Skill-wise, we're working on coercion and demolition with you, it seems. Which we've already done. So, persuasion's up there a decent amount. Commerce is up there a decent amount. Cassia's way above you in both, so it doesn't really matter. We'll go with that. More ballistic skill, more movement points when you're healthy. Could boost some of your characteristics if I feel that's valuable. More shieldy stuff actually seems like it could be good. So yeah, we'll get instant retribution. Why not? There we go. So let's see what the Administratum has to say. Mercenary Beta. Hello. Your Lordship. Mercenary Delta. Your Lordship. Zeta. Fangs of the Expanse, Dogs of the War. Salute the Rogue Trader. Marshal. A couple more mercenaries. Alright, Marshal. Marshal Strox regards the prefect with an implacable expression. Out of the question. I will only speak about resolving this situation with the Rogue Trader directly. No intermediaries. As she speaks, Prefect Vulture's augmented hands constantly fidget with a tattered piece of paper that may have once been a report. But for how much longer might we For how much longer might we have to wait for the rogue trader? 10 turns? 30? Thrice that? Time is an invaluable commodity, and we currently have none, esteemed Marshal. Not to mention the decree RP/84-289 explicitly states, she stops when she sees you. The Marshal raises his chin. Rogue trader, the Adeptus Arbites request your immediate cooperation. The sacred tithe collected from the Koronus Expanse is in danger, and you are the only one who can negate this threat. Why me specifically? If this is so important, you should ask the Inquisition. What danger are you referring to? Judging by your faces, the matter must be grave indeed. It's so amusing to see the two of you at each other's throats. Would you entertain me by continuing your squabble a little longer? Why me specifically? If this is so important, you should ask the Inquisition. The Inquisition's resources are not limitless, nor is this within their jurisdiction. The matter is delicate, however, and calls for the utmost secrecy. It is also intimately related to your dynasty and its ancient covenant with the Adeptus Arbites. We indeed require your personal assistance. What danger are you referring to, Marshal? All of the Expanse is ablaze, Rogue Trader. This state of disorder jeopardizes a critical strategic location. The planet Lethus, a clandestine world provided by Theodore von Valentius for the purpose of storing the tithe collected from the world of the Koronus Expanse. Strock's cheeks twitches. At present, the planet is overflowing with the sacred tribute amassed over the course of decades. After we lost contact with every single ship sent through the Maw in recent years, the decision was made to cease all attempts to transport the tithe out of the Expanse until the warp's tumult has subsided. It was for just such periods, the Maw's impassability, that the storage world of Lethus was devised. The raspy voice of the prefect cuts across the Marshal's speech. If I may provide certain details, as per regulation, prior to being sent to this temporary depot, all tithe shipments were first brought to Dargonus. These deliveries were made using barges, crewed by servitors, with the only people on board with the privilege of autonomous behavior being key officers and an arbitrator escort. In other words, the location of both the system and the planet was strictly classified. A special pact was made with the Navigator House. Even I was not entrusted with the coordinates. The Marshal looks straight at you. Given the scarcity of our resources, absolute secrecy is Lethus' main line of defense. However, we are detecting increased activity near the storage world's location. I do not want to do this, but I am quite plainly forced to ask for your help. Go to Lethus and organize the extraction of the Imperial tithe to Dargonus for further safekeeping. If it's not safe on a planet designed to keep it safe, and the best way to keep it safe is secrecy, moving it to Dargonus seems like a very poor idea. Nod towards the strangers in the rooms. Who are these people? They do not look like administratum clerks. Yeah, they're a bunch of mercenaries. Increased activity, Marshal. Do you suspect that someone is trying to find their way to the planet? I must remind you to my embarrassment that Dargonus was gutted by xenos not long ago. Yeah. Putting it on Dargonus seems like a very poor choice. Are you telling me that the tithe from the entire Koronus Expanse is being hoarded on Lethus? Just how much are we talking about exactly? What can you tell me about Lethus? I do not recall seeing it on any star charts. Of course not. That's the whole point. Who are these people? They do not look like administratum clerks. The prefix looks towards them and snaps their fingers. The fighters immediately make the sign of the Aquila. These are my bodyguards, members of the Fangs of the Expanse. They are here to demonstrate my willingness to offer the Adeptus Arbites whatever cooperation I can. Who are the Fangs of the Expanse? Mercenaries. The Marshal spits the word out in disgust. Vulture sighs. Gregoris, you know we need every fighter we can get these days. We have precious few people at your disposal, and every year fewer still remain. The Adeptus Administratum regulations do not prohibit the employment of hired forces. She meets the Marshal's fierce gaze with calm composure. Man, after how much she screwed us over with Solomon's Quest, like every choice we made, her marking it down against him. Now she's hiring mercenaries of questionable background to find treasure on a planet that she doesn't know the details to, but probably wishes she does. Just like, I don't really want to trust her or these random mercenaries. Wouldn't surprise me if she ends up being guilty. Increased activity. Marshal, do you suspect that someone is trying to find their way to the planet? The Marshal draws a sharp breath. Impossible. That would mean that someone commanding vast resources and influence knows of its existence. We have no evidence that could support this conjecture. Considering the current state of the Koronus Expanse, with pirates and xenos roaming where they please, it is far more likely the storage world will be discovered by accident. Again, hiding it somewhere on that planet feels like a much more sensible choice. Because if there's nothing obvious that draws pirates there to just keep digging until they find it, they'll just move on to other worlds. Pulling it to Dargonus seems like a really silly choice. The hastiness of the Marshal's rejection of your theory is the best proof that he himself considers a deliberate search to be a plausible explanation. But it seems he is unwilling to admit it even to himself. I must remind you to my embarrassment that Dargonus was gutted by xenos not long ago. And I hope that you have since drawn some conclusions about the importance of guarding your key worlds. The Marshal raises an eyebrow, then sighs. The Expanse burns all of it. We have no safer option. Are you telling me that the tithe of the entire Koronus Expanse is being hoarded on Lethus? Just how much are we talking about exactly? The Marshal sighs in anguish, enough to instantly turn anyone who captured it into a force more intimidating than the Casablanca Shadows Barons. A tempting prize, as you can see. Alright, well, what can you tell me about Lethus? I do not recall seeing it on any of my star charts. At my insistence, it was struck from all astrogational data. It was once a peripheral world, with no value to tithe collectors, which is why its disappearance did not raise many questions. No one cared about a planet that had nothing to give. Theodore had a whole secret planet in her possession, and yet no one cared to inform me? The prefect clasped her hands. Lady Theodore was fond of secrets, and good at keeping them. You inherited those secrets when you ascended her throne, but there are so many of them that apprising you of them all would be an impossible task, as is determining the scope of your knowledge. And why can't you export the tithe yourselves? Well, the problem is that the Maw is still in turmoil. That is an acceptable option. They're talking about exporting it from Lethus to Dargonus. That is an acceptable option, one with which we are preparing to proceed. The Adeptus Ministratum has requested mercenary troops of the highest caliber. Under extreme circumstances, the Lex Imperialis permits. Out of the question. There's a steely ringing in Strock's voice. In the Koronus Expanse, there exists a strict separation of authority between the Adeptus Arbites and the Ministratum, as certified by the Von Valentius dynasty and formalized in the Lex Dargonus. Transporting the tithe to and from Lethus and maintaining its security is the duty of the Adeptus Arbites. Aside from the head of the dynasty, only we have the right to set foot on Lethus or to know its coordinates, such as the word of law. And every single crew member on my ship, apparently, since you're going to be fine with me going there, which means my ship will know where it is. The Marshal turns again to look at you. There is another reason. Under the present circumstances, only you can provide the necessary level of security for the Imperium's property stored on your world. The Arbites are too few, and our forces are stretched too thin, as we must see to the stability of tithes delivered from other worlds, to prevent any attempts to disrupt said stability. Thus, we are humbly asking you to help us. Must be resolved without delay. I will go there at once. I might consider making this journey when I have nothing more pressing to do. Yeah, I'll go there at once. The Marshal nods. I will have the coordinates and the password transferred to you. They are for your eyes only. Once you have arrived at the location, you are to oversee the tithe's transportation to Dargonus. We will meet the barges here and then redirect them to secure vaults. I must ask that you hurry, Your Lordship, before all is lost. The prefect bows. I'm still thinking you're guilty.
None shall stand in my way.
Alright. Well, I'll take care of that before we go to Footfall. He's saying Xenos. He's talking about maybe the Dark Eldar, the Gene Stealer cults, or Chaos. One of the three. Yeah. Reach Lethus. It's in this system that doesn't have a path to it that we found before. It's possible. No, because we can only scan at new locations. So yeah, there's no path here from anywhere. All right, well, we'll make one from here, like to and from Dargonus. Seems simple enough. Given that it's all of our money, I guess I will make it safe. Even though I don't think that actually changes anything, it feels more thematic. Oh, suddenly a new path is shown from here. Okay. So presumably if we'd wandered all the way up to here, we would have seen that path suddenly appear. It's fine. Yep, only path we know of is that one. That's fine. Let's head on in. So we've got some space dust. Something is around this world. Check out the space dust first. Some fuel. I'm going to leave that planet for last because that seems the most exciting planet. So we'll try some of these others first. Lava world. Nothing going on. It's going to be a small planetoid. Probably also have nothing going on except for maybe some resources we can grab. Yep, 2 plasteel. Not going to bother. You are Lethus. Let's head on down. Storage sector LZ-3107. Lord Captain, we are now in Lethus' orbit. The ship has successfully exchanged access codes with the Adeptus Arbites outpost, but their landing pad is unavailable. The shuttle pilot is already calculating the closest possible landing point. Await. The Voxcaster is interrupted by a crackle that turns into a ragged, ultrasonic hum. A moment later, the connection returns to normal. What was that just now? There appears to have been an intrusion into the data stream, one that was executed using the Dynasty's secret codes. I can only assume that we have encountered an additional security measure installed by Lady Theodora. Send the tech priest to determine the cause of the malfunction immediately. The investigation is already underway, Lord Captain. The incident did not affect the security of our boxcasts. It seemed more akin to reciprocal auger scanning. Why is the landing pad unavailable? The augers are detecting foreign objects in the way, possibly cargo containers. Alright, well, I'm ready to descend to the surface. The fact that the landing pad isn't available is not a good sign. Solomon has to be here, that's fine. Let's head on down. Yeah, because I wouldn't expect Arbites to accidentally block the landing pad with cargo containers. They're pretty good about following the rules. Doing things by the books how they're supposed to be done. That sort of thing. Containers...
Requesting permission to rescue valuable technology from this maw of entropy and cesspool of violated storage regulations.
Yeah.
Pascal, you're the last person I would want to try for stealing the Tithe. Only the rogue trader, due to his unique status, has the authority to remove anything from this planet.
Containers tightly sealed on all sides. Something is scratched onto the lid. 5 tons of the finest SLGE. I don't know. Cash with goods stolen from the containers. You spot a pile of blackened jewelry in the dirt nearby, likely thrown out of the crate to make room for provisions and weapons. Advanced Adeptus Arbites shotgun. We'll see how that compares to what our Arbites is using. It is way better. Way more damage, way more armor penetration. Oh, it's a two-handed rather than a one-handed. So I'd have to put down his shield. Same range, a little bit more ammo. No, it's just the huge increase in damage at the cost of dropping his shield. Oh, I was comparing to the one-handed. Can I compare to the two-handed that he's got? There we go. Nope, that's still the one-handed. It's not going to let me compare it, which seems an odd choice. So this is 13 to 22, 10%. It looks like he still has... Huh. It's a two-handed weapon, but it doesn't take two hands? Maybe he's got a talent that allows him to wield two-handed weapons in one hand. Well, if that's the case, wield the two-handed shotgun in one hand. Alright. No reason not to. I should get you some more gear, I suppose. Just noticed that he has basically no equipment. Plus 20 to coercion isn't bad. That's one of his main skills. Alright. You get an eye patch that goes underneath. You're cybernetic, it's fine. Another plus 20 bonus to coercion? Dude. There's probably other good stuff as well. Probably not going to focus on dodge with you. Don't think logic, no. It's not bad. could go with that, actually. So if he does use his shotgun from point blank range, does more critical damage and bleeding and whatnot. I think every time I pull out an item, it's reshuffling the order of all these, which is confusing me. Medicaid is not your focus. Looks like figuring out what item to be put on the person of a soldier. In that icon picture, he's a member of your team in game. I know he's a member of my team. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Armor looks similar to a model they did for 40k. Had like a helmet carried shield and shotgun aided by a dog to the right side. Yeah, so he's Narbites. And I think that's pretty standard. Shotgun, shield, and having a cyber mastiff. It's just part of the Adeptus Arbites setup. Alright, I think that's good enough for your setup, so we can carry on. You can wield a shotgun, a shield similar to the Studies Kabaddi game. Not sure what you mean there. Alright. Who is that? More shadows from the riven sky? They sure dressed nice. Hey, is that an arbitrator? Why would an arbitrator be here? They're all holed up in their outpost, and this bunch has crawled out of the dump. Walls will deal with them. He can smell a fake. Move it. Captain will decide your fate. I mean, he's in my team. I don't always bring him, but he's a decent unit. So we've got a bunch of guardsmen, not Arbites. Captain Walls is the one that's going to determine our fate, apparently. Let's wander around before we first go talk to Captain Walls. See if we can figure out what's going on here. Gilded ceremonial blades are tied with rough ropes to the spikes surrounding the encampment. This whole place is not set up as you would expect for a Tithe outpost.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Slow March of Death. Whenever the wearer uses Charge, Danse Macabre, Dash, or Death from above, the wearer's damage is increased by 6% until the end of their turn. So that would be for our Blade Dancer lady. Can we go back here at all? Kind of hard to see. But that seems to be no. So we need to use a key to get in there. That's fine. Captain Walls, do I take the oath now? I swear never to abandon a comrade in arms, and... Have you ever been under fire, son? No, Corporal. Here's your oath, then. Go, stepchild of the Imperium. Become bones in the foundation of the new truth. Okay.
Victory
This is
awaits.
all sorts of weird. Weapons both old and new from a variety of worlds lie together in an incoherent pile, as if jumbled by a child's hand. Every gap is filled with ammunition of different calibers. Guardsman pointedly looks away as though afraid to meet your gaze. We're supposed to go up here and talk to Captain. Oh, I guess we talked to him from down here. That makes sense. The man steps forward. The hideous burns on his head make it look like a ball of molten wax. The pupil of one of his eyes is clouded, but the other eye is sharp and alert. I heard a shuttle, and here you are. Not a tithe, not clerks, but guests from the riven sky. The chance we've long been waiting for. These guardsmen refer to you as Captain. I do not know by whom or with what right the rank was given to you, but it means nothing to me. Every living tithe must be commanded by a sergeant. Where is yours? I need them to take us to the Arbites outpost. Our sergeant? We strung up our sergeant. The Arbites gave him to us. They serve the riven sky, and nothing comes out of the sky but evil. The guardsman's one eye studies your squad intently, as if calculating something. You strung up your sergeant. Uh-huh. Also, I'm curious about the riven sky here. Solomon turns to you and comments in a flat voice. Murder of a superior officer, desertion of the living tithe quarters, defamation of Adeptus Arbites members. More than enough for a verdict? Abelard explained to this man at once how he will address me. Abelard assumes a most stern expression and proclaims vociferously, Guardsmen, before you stands rogue trader Ignatius von Valentius. By the will of the Emperor, the ruler of millions of subjects, and the sovereign of many planets, Tethys included. From now on, you will show his lordship proper deference and obey any order without question. The man scrutinizes you from top to bottom. Yes, I see. I see the crux of the matter. You are someone very important, someone whose arrival can turn the tide. This is even more than I expected. Who are you? Self-proclaimed Captain Walls, a stepchild of the Imperium, as we all are here. A living tithe abandoned to his fate, and a Death World veteran, who ended up among recruits by mistake. Okay. And you admit to murdering your commander so easily. Commander? No, the enemy. He was hiding the truth from us and prevented us from taking action. His death opened the way to freedom and made us realize that there's nothing up there. We are on our own. You had better explain immediately what the warp is going on here. Our illusions were shattered. The Arbites brought us here and left us to rot for years. We waited for our chance to die heroically in the name of the Imperium until we realized Imperium is gone. All there is the riven sky. Yeah, so all the tithe was brought here to this planet, waiting for the chance to take it back to the Imperium that's been cut off. I didn't think about the fact that that includes living tithe. So you have all these people who were brought here, which by regulation they have to eventually be taken back to Terra, or back to the Imperium at large, potentially not directly to Terra. But the people are just stuck here, waiting. And I guess they eventually gave up. realizing they weren't ever going to actually be sent over. Because Tithe in this case seems like they were a tithe of people to be put into a guard unit. But then it never happened. So they were taken from their homes, being told they would be guardsmen fighting a war against xenos, chaos, whatever. And instead they're just abandoned here for years. Got it. What makes you think that there is no Imperium? The revolting semblance of a smile appears on his melted face. Look around you. Everything you see was the tithe, a sacred payment to the Imperium. And what became of it? Why did it never travel to other worlds as we'd been promised? Why are we starving here instead of doing battle among the stars? Because there's nothing there, that's why. You saw my shuttle arrive with your own eyes. Where do you think I came from? The riven sky. You children of the abyss like to toy with our minds. You keep bringing new garbage here and dumping it on our heads, all just to maintain the feeble facade of your lives. And you keep talking about a future that will never come. Enough! What is the riven sky? The guardsman chuckles. Don't try to fool me. We both know the truth. The riven sky is the abyss that has devoured everything outside. The primordial darkness. Sometimes the sky sends people, but they are imitations, shadows wearing human skin. They don't know that they don't exist, but I see right through them. They come from the steel star, with the scarlet overseeing eye, from your ruler's throne. If the Imperium does not exist, then who feeds you? We break the containers open and we get our own sustenance. At least the food we have here is real. Your minions, the Arbites, toss us some rations, but they aren't enough for the whole regiment. There are too many of us now. Destruction of the sacred tithe, unlicensed reproduction, repeated defamation of the Adeptus Arbites. I revoke your right to beg for mercy during the arrest. You are insane. That's what you emissaries of the Ribbon Sky always say, because you're afraid of one who knows the truth. What do you need so many soldiers for? Me? No, we need each other. Only together can we take on the Riven Sky and its emissaries. First, we take out the Arbites, then we fly to the Steel Star in the sky. There, we'll strike down the false rulers and begin our restoration of the true Imperium. I need to get to the Arbites outpost. Of course you do. Where else? I know the way. I dream of their little fortress at night, overwhelmed in a flame. The avenues of approach, the adjacent high grounds, the shelters, they are all burned into my mind because of how often I think of that place. The stepchildren and I will arrive there very soon. I will raise the bloodied head of the false law on a spike and destroy the illusion that the Riven Sky has any power left in it. Then the other guard units will join me, and our march towards the stars will begin. Conspiracy to murder members of the Adeptus Arbites. The sentence is death. Further questioning would be pointless, rogue trader. No matter your numbers, you will never take the Arbites outpost. Mammoth's face breaks into a smile. I'm sure that's what you think. You have one of the law dogs at your side, so you are their commander, emissary of the Riven Sky. With you as my hostage, the Arbites will open their gates to me without a fight. Take this one alive, stepchildren. We don't need the rest of them. Alright, well, you all get to die.
Show them no mercy.
Let's see. We'll put ourselves back, I don't know. They're actually not super pathetic. They've got over 100 health. Captain Wallace is the only, like, potential real threat, it seems. Wow, 200 health. Now we're gonna just steamroll over them. I'll just step back here. Cassia, you can, I guess, hang out back here with me. Juliet, go there. Yeah, you're allowed to start the fight next to people. Forgot about that. Not that I think it overly changes things. Plato apparently cannot start next to enemies. Alright, Pascal. I don't know. Let's just put you there. And Abelard. Sure. Start battle. This is going to be a really quick fight. Which I guess shouldn't be surprising. It's always a quick fight.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Alright, we light ourselves on fire. There we go.
Suits my
Run and
purposes.
gun. Well, I could take out the two of you with a Melta. Oh, I can't Melta. Alright, let's just light Captain Walls on fire.
All too easy.
And call that good for my turn. Can I get an angle where I can hit a bunch of them but not my allies? The answer is probably no. No, because I tucked all of my own allies in the middle of them. I mean, I can reduce how many of my allies I'm hitting. Am I willing to hit Solomon and Abelard? Hit those additional two people. Feels like if I adjusted for position, I could get to a spot where they wouldn't get hit. Well, I can hit one of them now without hitting my people. So there we go. That's hitting 5 enemies.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
Seems pretty good.
I'm not accustomed to face the navigator's might.
Sadly, that wasn't quite enough. We're like 1 point shy of what we need.
Isn't this a
All right.
job for the serfs?
And we use that.
In the name of House or
Get our free turn.
I shall prevail.
Alright. You're already on fire. I went here and did a Melta through here. Doesn't actually kill them.
Suits my purpose.
I hope you end up getting hit. And you did. Perfect. I guess I should focus on the one with a lot of health. Let's just do a bunch of ignites.
You didn't stand a chance. Already done. Nothing of value has been lost.
I got another hit on him, which is good. That should kill both of them.
Was your
Perfect.
biggest mistake. Not a problem for me. Nothing of value has been lost. You didn't stand a chance. All too easy.
Alright. I guess you're all that's left, so... no. We've got a few left. Someone fully healed. Ah, back here. I didn't see
Suits
you.
my purposes. Nothing of value has been lost.
We've got... you who's on fire. You who's on fire. And then you who's on fire. So if we did inflame...
Another foe painted black.
You died. You didn't actually die. So let's kill you off.
Stand a chance.
And then with you,
Nothing of value.
There we go. Solomon casts a grave look over the battlefield, then turns sharply to you. A change of tactics. We must cut off all the arrival points for their reinforcements. See those cables and counterweights? They're what's keeping the containers suspended. We get rid of the counterweights, and the containers will fall and block the passages. Someone will have to climb into this semblance of a tank and open fire on these targets, while the rest activate the shell loading systems using the cogitators and hold off the enemies. Choose who will man the tank. Command one of your own kind, Elentok. The path of the outcast has taught me much, but you may keep the secret to controlling your primitive machines to yourself. So someone will have to climb in and open fire. I'm guessing that's a ballistics test. And if it's not going to be Irliat, then the only other person with a decent ballistics skill is going to be Solomon. Solomon, you will drive the tank. Acknowledged. Solomon cracks his knuckles. Take care of Glido while I'm busy. Oh. Battle just continues, and we need to destroy 3 counterweights. So that's where we power up the tank. Power up the tank. Oh, we can power up lots of places. I guess, where are we dealing with the counterweights? Or is that going to be done by Solomon? I don't know. So we've got a handful of guys over there, a handful of guys back here. Can't easily move into a position where I could melt a line, unfortunately. Actually, I could with run and gun. Alright.
Already done.
So if I run and gun to here, I can then melt all of you.
Nothing I can't do.
Then move forward. I think the ones with the most health I should focus on first.
All too easy.
It's 200 health rather than the 100 health.
Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Alright, let's go with steady superiority to give myself another free attack.
Incarnate. Not a problem for me. You didn't stand a chance. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Alright,
Nothing of value
that's
has been
all enemies taken out. Oh, come on.
Weak, yet iron knows no pain.
Did I kill them too quickly? I think I killed them too quickly.
Out of my way. Here we go.
Where they just suddenly all got a free turn before the rest of my team could go. Yeah, I didn't even finish my turn and they all got a free turn because I killed them too fast. Alright.
Suits my purposes.
That'll give me one more free action. Which should be enough to take out all of you, I think. Now, I was hoping that the backlash of killing him would hit this guy or something. Did not. Alright. Well, it was a good turn. So now we're back to Cassia, which is the first turn of the whole battle. Put a front line here. Get your yourself some dodge bonuses there.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Because. And... Huh. I can give bonuses to the tank.
Me?
Alright.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Alright, the tank, I think, might have moved in some way, but it didn't
Let's get to it.
reduce the number of counterweights. Oh, probably because we need to power up the tank still. Never mind. So I can fire. Ah. So that's some of the counterweights we're dealing with. Gotcha. Did that not? Oh, no, that didn't count as doing enough damage. Got it. It's going to take multiple hits. This is going to be a long fight just because these attachment points are going to take forever. Wonder if I can melt them. I'm guessing the answer is no. Because that would be too convenient. So, what does power up the tank mean in this context? Because the tank clearly is already operational. But yeah, let's send you there. Power up the tank, whatever that means. Okay. There's some decent shots in that group.
If it serves your
Go
cause.
perfect spot. It's fine.
If I must. I understand your intent. I am not your xenos. Deal death with my hands.
Okay. Wow, it did 51 damage that also did no damage to me.
Hold on.
Alright. I think we just keep focusing on this one. There we go. So that path is now taken care of. Abelard. You don't have a great area attack, unfortunately. If I could get you kind of into the middle of their group, it'd be awesome. Actually, this wouldn't be bad. That would hit at least 4 people. So let's send you there.
My place is at the fort.
It's not actually doing that much damage. That's a shame. Most of these you're choosing a specific enemy to do more damage to, which is not what we want.
One fewer target.
Okay.
Indeed.
Alright. Back to my turn again. Part of me is tempted to just firestorm on myself. Do a lot of damage, but it would also hit a big chunk of them. Or I could just melt it through them. Yeah.
Nothing I can't shall survive.
Melt is the more sure option. Well, I probably shouldn't have put Abelard there because I probably wanted to shoot that as my next shot. We can focus on shooting this one first.
Already done. Not a problem for me.
I don't know.
Nothing I can't do. Opposing me was your
Yo.
mistake. Suits my purposes.
Am I attacking this? I am. Well now, since I seem to do more damage than a tank, I don't know what that says about the fact that as a psyker I'm doing more damage than a Lehman Russ battle tank, because that's not how that should work. But okay, we'll just kill this in a single shot.
You didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
I'm worried that Pascal is under where this will fall. So I don't want to shoot this until Pascal is out of there.
All too easy. Suits my purposes. Nothing of value has been lost.
Alright, we've still got one guy left alive.
Already done.
Can finish him off easy enough.
Suits my purposes. You didn't stand a chance.
And then more running, of course. All getting their free turns because they just arrived. I'm definitely doing damage too quickly, and this encounter is laid out in awkward ways where because I'm killing enemies too quickly, they're all just coming in and getting lots of kills because I'm wiping them all out multiple times in a single turn. Which is not how it's supposed to go. Alright, Pascal, you gotta get out of there. As much as you're a melee character, and so I want you up front. Well, this is probably safe being here. Yeah, you'll miss that guy. But I think this is fine. Alright. Good enough. Yeah.
Out of my way.
Wow, great shot. Then more enemies show up. Alright, Pascal is taking some crazy damage.
Here we go.
Can I give Ignatius another turn? I can. Well now. Pascal's not under it, so I think now is a fine time to
All too
just break that.
Nothing of value has been lost. Suits my purposes. You didn't stand a chance.
All right, well done, team. Just all of this basic weaponry. I mean, reinforced flak isn't that bad, looks like. Trophy las gun. Elite chainsword. But I'm guessing none of this I actually care about. We'll keep the key. Let's just move everything over and see. I'll keep the nice chainsword. Just in case.
Look no further.
How's this compared to the weapons you're using? Oh. Elite chainsword. We already had one. And shockingly, it's worse. Hi, Glado. Yeah, they weren't even close to being able to take us. Shield of Unfaltering Will. Wielder's successful attacks of opportunity inflict immobilize on the target. Shields allow the wielder to block attacks. Okay. Probably not. That's a shield designed for a melee character. Okay, we can go through there now. Never figured out how to do anything here, because I don't think we can get here. No.
The machine gun grants me insight.
Glittering object on the corpse's hand catches your eye. A string of silver prayer beads with a tarnished Adeptus Administratum symbol. The victim must have been buried alive in the middle of an inventory inspection. Yeah, but we don't know how to get down here. Oh, there's a clerk in the middle. So I assume at some point we find a way to get back here.
It's
Or
about time.
maybe that's where this path leads.